but just not quite as silly. Because the whole Moonbeam into a Scotty slow crit from 1,000 range, and it's also a stun, was just silly. So
yeah,
real hero, but one of the harder matchups for Luna is, of course, Slark. Be interesting to see how Liquid play that. I've seen Insania spam Coddle, so I'm certain he'll be effective there. We'll be off-laning with Boxy, it appears, so looking to spam Shield and Dissimulate to just shove lanes, perhaps? We shall see.
And, Slark being one of the biggest winners of the patch as well, right? Like, I know, I can already tell you guys what BSJ's post-game segment is going to be. It's going to be about Slark. Win or lose, he's going to be talking about Liquid's carry. Just tell you that right now, because I know he was very happy with the changes that happened to Slark, and it's reflecting in his win rate as well. Again, one of the biggest winners of the patch. So, I should, add on. When I say biggest losers of the patch, Luna was OP before, and I think she still fits into the meta. So I think now she's acceptable.
Yeah,
she's
I'd agree.
Viable.
And
but if old Luna was in this patch, she'd be broken as hell, because I think, with the Zoom meta, Luna already fits in pretty nicely. Yeah,
agreed totally. And Slark just one of the few heroes that got like a buff. I felt like this patch was really just a lot of tweaks, some talent reorganizing, and a handling of some of the heroes that power crept a bit. But Slark just became better. I think the change to the Q is very significant, especially because of the Dark Pact damage talent you would pick up at 15. So all of a sudden, you just don't deal nearly as much self-damage. But
buffs to Dark Pact in general are kind of scary, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not just... It's your way to farm, first of all. It's your way, it helps to be able to like kill heroes. If you ever lower the cooldown of Dark Pact, then it just means the hero staying alive. There's a shorter window for you to be able to like chain stun him and bring him down. So there's a lot of scary things about the changes that happen to Slark.
And the hero itself is like, people forget. They got sick of Luna. They got sick of TA, but you forget sometimes how annoying it is. I still remember the sniper troll.
They're going to get it. Taiga managed to pick up first blood after narrowly... He almost gave away first blood earlier to Theolicor, but he managed to survive through that. They turn it right back around, and it looks like, Kyle, they've got a different philosophy for this top lane. It's the same matchup for SG, right? Wind Ranger and Timbersaw, but this time around, Taiga's playing in the lane with Mickey as a more aggressive 4-position hero, and they're actually going to try and fight the Timbersaw a lot more, whereas last time they had Chen, right? And like Chen... It's not actually going to do that much to Timbersaw. So
yeah, I like this route a lot more. I think that when you play a weak 5 that kind of wants to leave a 1v1, that's playing right into the Timbersaw's hands. So this time, you're always going to be threatened no matter how stacked up you are. Slark can certainly start chunking you down, and the double disable is really nice for the interrupts on the Timber Chain.
Other side lane matchup, the Void Spirit Keeper of the Light, which, Liquid, they were talking about pre-game panel. They were saying, oh, this patch, really good for Liquid. Koifa's got so many summons heroes that he plays, most notably Lycan got the biggest buff, but others are definitely going to be viable as well, like Lone Druid. And they talked about that, but the other thing is Insania's heroes also got buffed. If you're playing Chen, if you're playing Keeper of the Light, you're pretty happy with this patch.
I mean, yeah, Chakra just, again, one of the few spells, they just made it better. Lower cooldown. Shackle will miss.
Theolicor, the pounce doesn't land, but it does give him in front of Theolicor to get the kill. Mickey picks up that one. This time around, lane not going quite as well for SG, but it's pushing in, and Tavo is going to get level 3 for free here, so maybe that'll offset things. And then the mid lane matchup, we do have Koipo slightly ahead in CS, but it is a Doom, so net worth is probably going to be favoring 4DR over time as the Devour, even though it gives you a little bit less gold. And as they were talking about, he is able to do a bit more damage with 1 second prolonged on Scorched Earth. Adds in a decent amount if you get the 10 talent as well. So 4DR hopefully going to be a more active Doom than we saw in the last patch, because last patch felt like just kind of a dumb hero, just an offlaner that secures late game and just farms. Oh, Insania. Level 2 eliminate picked up just at the right time. A third kill for Liquid as they are dominating this laning phase, it seems.
Yeah. I trust Insania and his build. He's been doing this in all the games I've seen him play on stream. Now that the channel time maxed out is the same. It's just the damage scaling on Illuminate. So it is a deceptive amount of damage, because previously it's like, oh, well, this, you know, it's all based on channel time. So if you actually get hit by it under tower, it's like, oh, no huge deal. But watch this. It's just a full... That's like 260 magic damage. There's 0.4 remaining. Mickey top, Orb of Venom, rushing treads, should be okay, but yeah, this bottom lane, KJ, I don't know what you're supposed to do here. You just cannot sustain through this damage.
Yeah, they were able to do a good job last time. The Omni Knight Sven lane, they're going for a similar concept here with the Abaddon plus a ranged carry, and it's not quite working out against the Keeper of the Light. So it seems like specifically the support adjustments in both the side lanes are working out much better for Liquid, as they're going to try and go for this kill onto Mickey, though. SG showing that they can still win this lane potentially. They could get a kill on Mickey. That would right all the wrongs that happened earlier. And it's not like they're that far behind in CS. In fact, in some cases, they're winning in CS. Tavo's actually ahead of the Slark right now. And feeling pretty good about it, too. Is he going to keep up the pressure? Mickey might just be able to run him down. The shackle shot doesn't quite latch. He managed to pounce himself away, so they're going to go for Taiga instead. A nice two-man Earthspike, but is it actually going to keep him alive here? Therilacore pops a wind run, turns around. Taiga, very likely, as long as Tavo lands this next Timber Chain. He's got, a Fairy Fire, actually. Therilacore pops a Fairy Fire himself, but that's not enough to live through the Dark Pack that came in. Taiga dodges the next Timber Chain, and now Tavo, he's running a little low on mana. They catch him right as he goes for the Timber Chain away. Oh no, Tavo, he's got one more Timber Chain left, but no, he actually gets taken away. The intelligence that's lost from the Essence Shift lost him that last bit of mana needed for a Timber Chain away, and Liquid on the verge of losing both their heroes in top lane, turning around and get 2 kills.
That is just a straight up outplay. Like, this top lane now dominating. Mickey approaching level 6, so yeah, out of tangos, but soon he'll be able to just solo up top, and mid is relatively even, but either way, this is pretty nice for Liquid, winning both side lanes at the moment. A lot of regen. You know, the CS bottom might be somewhat even, but Costa Bile has bought so much regen. KJ the same, just spamming heals and shields. And
I'm surprised they don't have raindrops yet to try and deal with this burst damage of Illuminate.
He's got it queued up on Costa Bile, but certainly should have one already equipped, I agree.
More stuns. 3 levels of reactive armor. Tavo, a little hard to bring down, 100 to 0. So just a bit of a poke here as Mickey now gets his level 6, so this lane becomes a lot easier for him. Of course, Tavo, once he gets his level 6, will in turn be able to kind of counteract some of the plays that Slark does. That's why Koifa is going to try and use this timing and catch somebody here. Unfortunately, rotation doesn't really net a whole lot. He just takes the enemy bounty rune. Meanwhile, 40R doing a good job of putting pressure in the way he's doing. We're going to look back at that play at the top lane and how Tavo, just because of this Fairy Fire, Taiga survives, and as a result, they managed to get both the kills, as it's probably a little bit too long to show in a replay.
Indeed. Insane, yeah, he's just maxing Illuminate. I dig it. He's just going to stack, he's going to farm, he's going to blast, and Costa Bile going to be forced off into the jungle quite soon, I would imagine. Boxy, again, this intelligence offlaner, the double null, I'm a big fan. The spell amp is really nice, especially if you're just going to keep them slotted for the full mid-game.
Therilacore, I wonder if he knew that 4DR was not going to go any Doom. Adriano choosing to just go 4-4-0 to try and win the lane harder, but is he gonna get bursted down? Koifa, the tree toss is not quite gonna be enough, and King Jungles is there with a slight heal as well. I think they had a chance maybe to be able to kill that Tiny when Therilacore showed up to gank, but that Doom is kind of a fruitless prospect, as King Jungle's gonna be caught by Boxy here. Boxy still has another round of his Astral Step, but it's not quite enough to get the kill.
It's so nice playing Void Spirit down here. You just have this mana battery behind you. So you just full aggression. He sees a hero, he uses all spells, and then runs to his friend Insania to keep up the pressure. It will be a Dragonlance rush on Costa Bile, but man, it just doesn't feel good to play in this bottom lane. I'm sure he'd love to get the hell out of here, but then he could just get chased into the jungle.
Yeah, he's only got 1 level of Glaives and 2 levels of Lunar Blessing, so it's not like he's going to be farming neutrals the fastest. He'd like a couple more levels. And unfortunately, King Jungles, contrary to his name, has not been able to spend a whole lot of time in the jungle stacking for him, so that's and not a ton of opportunity there either.
I mean, I will say though, 40R is enormous. Top CS in the game, top net worth. Went for the hood into Blink, skipping the Midas, so won't scale quite as hard, but he's going to be very powerful.
King Jungle's going to be caught here. Koifa throws out the last hit to be able to get the 6th kill in a row for Team Liquid. But again, because of the Doom, 40R and the rest of SG are still perfectly fine. Adriano's going to run into Taiga and Koifa here, but I love the fact that he did go with the hood because it feels like he's protecting his network. Like earlier, he would have died to Koifa if it wasn't for that hood. He knows how big he is, and he wants to make sure that he doesn't get picked apart here. Liquid is all inning for this kill, though, bringing both Mickey and Insania over to ensure they get that, and might be able to get the Airlocor as well. Insania going for the body blocks here, tossing Mickey on top of him as well. King Jungle's there, able to counteract some of the damage. Nice shackle shot back on a Mickey after the Dark Pact. A heavy rotation from Liquid, but it does pay out a hefty dividend in the 5,400 net worth Doom going down. Yeah,
that was huge. I like that they fully committed as well. Just wanted to guarantee the kill. A pre-ultimate from Mickey there to ensure that he didn't get doomed, which could have potentially looked to threaten him off. Now gets a sentry in his own jungle, clearing out the ward. Very tough to ward enemy jungle against a Slark. Very frustrating to play against. Clearing out some of these nice stacks.
Part of the reason they do make that play on Liquid is also the fact that they can't play top lane anymore. Tavo able to solo take the tower with the 10-minute catapult that came in, so SG, even though it's 7-0, I'm pretty sure they're happy with the pace of this game right now.
Oh, for sure. They're actually ahead in net worth, which is kind of crazy. Obviously, Doom does help, but 8-0 now, still with the net worth advantage, is impressive. Let's see, Boxy gonna rush the Aghanim's.
Doom. Koifa, he doesn't have mana, so I don't think there's any. Well, okay, he was waiting for Insane, and now they've got the mana. But now Costabile is out of range. He's going to TP to the other side of the map, knowing that this jungle area is not for him to farm. One downside I see for SG is until Adriano's ready to fight, they actually don't really have a whole lot of playmakers, right? They've got a Timbersaw on one side, who doesn't necessarily make plays, just kind of stands in an area. And then they've got a Luna who wants to farm, a fine position of Batten who just wants to back people up. There's nobody actually going around and making kills happen until Adriano's ready to go. Yeah, it's definitely a downside of the draft. Meanwhile, Liquid, there's going to be a Tiny, a Slark, and a Void Spirit all just gunning for this Luna around the map with the Mana Battery and CDR behind them. So Koifa will really never have any issues. Love the rushed Blink for that reason. Even has the Tumbler's Toy for a little bit of extra mobility. It's nice. What I like about this, I always love it when we just swap the pressure on the game. So last time it was Liquid who had the pressure to do like go and like make things happen and you know, take down towers. Here it feels like it's SG who are eventually going to have to make those moves as Koifa finds the opening onto Costabile. King Jungle's not close enough around. King Jungle's actually just now picking up boots. This man is poor. There's just nothing you can do here. Liquid, they have all the kill threat. It's just the Doom, really, that has a chance at finding some sort of engagement. He now TP's top preemptively, has Blink Doom. Mickey's got to be quick. Oh, they got him. He managed to get out the pounce off, but it's certainly not enough to save him. And SG, cheeky little spray laid down there to make sure 40R is able to pick up the last hit. Tavo pushed down to low ground here on the other side of the map. He's going to be met with some stiff resistance as he tries to get away. And Koifa, I have the finger. Okay, maybe he's judging Tavo as a little bit too tanky. A combo is certainly not going to even get Timbersaw close, so when they go for the back line instead, but King Jungles did have his level 6 this time around, and Koifa may have jumped a little bit too far. On the edge here, doesn't get caught by a shackle shot. SG got to back up, seeing Boxy, who's pretty large in this case, is rushing an Aghanim Scepter. They're going to try and toss back Tavo for a bit of damage. They know King Jungle's, though. That was a misplay. Now, they thought, they're like, oh, they're all living on Tavo. Not the case. They kill King Jungle's first and then go back for Tavo. What a sneaky move by Boxy. Yeah. That was a PMR target swap there. Really well done. And
it lands them both kills in the end. Really nice job from Liquid just keeping up the pressure. And yeah, SG, they itemized defensively. They knew what was coming. Double hood on both their strength cores to try and buy space for Costa Bile.
They know he's here. They know he's here. They've got the scan on him. He's somewhere around here. They finally spot him. Koifa. One avalanche used, the second one on its way thanks to Insania. They're going to be able to pull him back and finish him off. Costa Bile dies. King Jungle's nothing he can do. But maybe Adriano can rectify this little situation. Picking up one kill. Looking for another here, but with just Scorched Earth and no Doom. These mobile heroes should be able to get away unless Theolacor can catch him. Ooh, shackle shot. Not quite latching the two together. SG, once again, going for their move where they're just pretty much, it seems they have an idea about this meta is playing a lot of team fight, playing around each other as much as possible. Liquid are getting the better of it, though, right now.
Yeah, only the 1K Goldie, though. And keep in mind, you know, that is partially because there's a Doom in the game. Otherwise, it'd probably be closer to 3,000. But it's Costa Bile.
My concern is Mike. Look at him. He's got Echo Saber Diffusal Blade soon, and Costa Bile is quite the opposite. He's just got a Dragon Lance and is fighting for every bit of farm he can find.
I love the way Koifa and Insania are just playing this map right now because, yeah, you don't kill Costa Bile there, but it forces a response. Suddenly there's 4 heroes defending him as he takes a triple stack Ancients. Like, just, there's an X mark on the Luna. Just drawing in Liquid heroes as they happily charge at him. And to your point, Mickey, free to use the space across the map. We'll have Diffusal completed very soon.
I had actually not seen the Tumbler's toy in use yet, and it has a little sound effect that goes with it. A little boing.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Very cute.
There's the Diffusal after this wave. And
Koifa,
right
Smoke is going to break here and does immediately run into Theolacor. Now, fortunately, the Euphonic Shield is there to be able to block some of the damage, but slowed down so much by Insania, which is one level of Solar Bind, allowing Koifa and Taiga to increase their magic damage, catch the Wind Ranger, and bring him down.
I will say that this support Wind Ranger, if you hit the shackles, 3.8 seconds on 2 heroes is kind of insane. More than a DK stun. Of course, the skill, you know, there is skill involved, so probably
and
won't
also
work.
counterplay, right? Like
True.
you, no matter how good the Wind Ranger is, sometimes you just can't get a shackle shot. As Doom into Eclipse, SG, they've been setting up this high ground triangle defense for quite some time, and finally, Liquid stumble into it, and the perfect hero is caught as well. The Slark, and his net worth is going to be on pause for a bit as Costa Bile gets a chance to catch up.
Yep, that's huge. I mean, 2 Dooms, 2 deaths on Slark. You can't ask for more from 40R. As they now look to pressure mid. There's an Aghanim.
He is hitting the mid-tier 1 tower by himself. Nobody is nearby.
They didn't even need the Aghanims. Now they have one on Void Spirit. Suddenly this gets a lot scarier for SG. The Abaddon and Wind Ranger have to be quite cautious. They will not be able to counter-initiate once Boxy leaps forward. But yeah,
no.
Tabo.
Oh no, the item! Costa Bile had to go back for the tier 2 item that dropped, and it almost got him caught by Koifa. If he shows here, he's certainly going to get caught as, yeah, he's dead now. And if Koifa doesn't do the job, then Boxy will finish it as, yep, there goes the AoE silence, preventing KJ from being able to get off the Euphonic Shield, and they forced out now the borrowed time. They have this area totally surrounded. King Jungle's just going to try and drag the creep wave back as much as possible, get some CS before he inevitably dies. Liquid, they may have lost the Slark earlier, but they recognize you've got no Doom, you've got no Eclipse, we're just going to run at you.
And I love the decision from Koifa to go Midas. No real reason to... You can make arguments for the Echo, but Midas just kind of guarantees you're going to scale. And right now, you're not right-clicking. You're running at enemy heroes and looking to blink combo them.
Yeah, and I've seen a couple players, most notably, I think, Sumail, going for this Aghanim's physical damage build on Tiny, because one of the buffs that Tiny got, one of the only buffs, was the 50% increase on the splash from Tree Throw. And that, by itself, doesn't mean a ton. It's a little bit better in lane and stuff, but once you have an Aghanim Scepter and some damage behind it, it becomes a real team fight threat.
Yep, and he'll go back for the Echo, just ensuring he has that ability to keep scaling. And, I mean, wherever he wants to go with his progression, I wouldn't mind an early AC, and the Aghanims plus Daedalus combo is brutal. So
attack.
really, you can just kind of go with what he pleases. Insania, he's actually going to go for a Lincoln's. I like this decision. Just going to throw it on
Tavo
Slark.
again. Tavo's going to find himself burned out of most of his mana, but he does have Arcane Boots and the Soul Ring still in the bank here. Bottom lane, setting up on Adriano. KJ, he's going to be here soon. And they see that TP and say, okay, Doom is already hard enough to kill just purely through his tank with an Aphotic Shield. There's no way.
What?
Oh, beautiful shackle shot from Theo Lacour. And they're going to be able to get the Doom onto Boxy. Looking to be able to run him down. Infernal Blade hit and blink forward. Should be able to ensure that while the other two supports are looking for Taiga. Koifa is trying to run interference to make sure Boxy does survive. And it looks like he's going to be okay. Doom is going to wear out soon, but here comes the Eclipse. Mickey immediately popping that Shadow Dance, but they're looking for the kill onto Koifa, and they're going to find him too. Koifa in the trees, but unable to hide from SG. So they're going to keep moving forward here. 40R does hit the Aphotic Shield. He's tanky. They're going to turn around and try and bring him down, but not quite good enough by itself. Oh, the buyback. Everybody from SG is on the run. They're going to leave 40R behind. They may just be leaving Tavo behind as well. A well-timed bait from Liquid with Koifa buying back there to turn the tides into their favor.
Yeah, but I still think you take that if you're SG. Yeah, you lose 2 cores, but you do get the buy. You get a 2-for-2 exchange. And, you know, it could be significantly worse. I'm surprised they're actually so formidable. You know, you'd think when you look at the scoreboard, 18-5, it can feel demoralizing, but I respect that SG, they're still the ones looking to make action happen. And what a shackle. That 3.8 second stun, man. Two targets. Really quick blink in.
Yeah.
Like the play.
And they're about to hit another big spike on SG, so if you want to talk about the bright sides to them, pretty good, pretty okay team fight, forced a buyback out of Koifa, and now they're going to have BKB real soon on 40R. Did he? I was pretty sure he had it. I think he lost his courier.
Yes, he did. It's 125.
Oof. Okay, so he unfortunately should have had BKB in that last team fight, but maybe part of the reason the team fight did go so poorly. Next team fight, though, hopefully he'll have that magic immunity, in which case, I don't know what Liquid does about the Doom.
Yeah.
They just have to kite him as much as possible.
The concern I have, though, is that, you know, kiting him is going to prove effective because SG, like, they just don't have much damage. It wasn't really the Doom that even lands this kill. It was the Wind Ranger ultimate, rather, later on Koifa, but it's just... It's hard. It's really tough to find damage. Their Luna is effectively looking to carry this whole game, and you still got to favor Slark in terms of the carry versus carry matchup, and he's closing in on his BKB.
You know, I thought you were going to say that they didn't have many disables on the side of SG. Because they can land a Doom and you know, try and run down heroes with the Scorched Earth, but then if they don't land a Shackle shot, there's no other stuns.
That's a pretty good point, actually, because it looks great there, but that is, of course, the downside of Shackle. If you whiff it, like, that's it. Like, what's
and
left?
Where I'm leading that to is I thought Theo Lacour would be like, okay, so we need more disables. I'm going to go the Shard again. But he's not. He's going to go Force Staff instead. So... interesting. We're going to smoke up and go for Boxy here. 4 Dooms and I believe 3 kills as he was unable to finish on Boxy in that last team fight. But this time he's got him with a well-exercised gank with a Blink Centaur Stomp to lead off.
But what are you going to get out of it is the question. If you're Liquid here, you see them gathering in the bottom lane. Well, that's a very early Lincoln.
He's got a Lincoln?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Very fast. It's quite nice. You know, there's really, how do you cancel it? Yeah, the Abaddon Q, but he's going to be further back. It's the Shackle, the Beam, and the Doom. So look to see 40R pick up some method of canceling it himself, with a creep that is, but of course that means you'd lose the War Stomp. But I expect Insania is just going to pop that on his Slark and wish Mickey best of luck as he moves forward to try and find kills.
Yeah, combine that with the fact that he's got the 10 talent, the -1 second Dark Pack cooldown. So there's only 3.5 seconds where Slark is exposed. And then you add in a Lincoln's on top of it. Like, it's going to be so hard to actually catch this guy. SG and their execution is going to be a big factor in these team fights, whether or not they can win him. Toys Tumbler, not going to push him far enough away. Now he's caught inside the Pounce. And if anything, the Borrow Time plays against him as the Slark gets to just build up some stats SG not minding it too much, though, just farming the other side of the map.
This is where that Doom top feels like it might have actually just worked against SG, because you can't contest now. Liquid, they took no risks there. They're like, yeah, we're going to Linken's our Slark. There's absolutely nothing we fear. You get a kill of your own into a free Roche. You'll get a tier 1 bottom. That's nice. Maybe for SG, actually. Don't even know if they're going to be able to, because they're not certain that this Roche is happening. But now it's a...
Yeah.
Whoa, Tholokor. Hello. Goodbye.
You know, so sometimes you gotta take risks in a game. Maybe he's feeling like, 6-20. This game is really far out of our hands. We know the net worth is a lot closer than that, but he might be looking at it and saying it's time for some drastic measures here, boys. Tries to steal away the Aegis, is denied in that fact, and now Taiga might just be a blink for blink, but it's Tavo who runs headlong into the Mickey Koipa gank, and Liquid continues to extend their lead further and farther. So they're going to start going on Costa Belay. Silence actually going out. King Jungles.
God.
Oh, this silence is just too hard to deal with. They had the magic burst damage of the Solar the Solar Bind with the Void. And so much magic damage, and then the AoE silence totally prevented King Jungles from getting off a single spell.
Yeah, that was, look at the amount of, oh my goodness. I mean, he did get a full blast to the face, but I think he just underestimated the Solar Bind, as you said, like 30% increased magic damage. That's nuts, and I cannot believe he got popped like that. That's huge.
You can see Insania here with this Linken's feels very safe, harassing the Doom and seeing if he could force out a BKB. Not the case, and there wasn't much behind that little poke anyway.
Look at Insania's net worth, man. He's above, like, he's 11K almost. He's ahead of his offlaner.
Yeah.
Just blasting
Insania,
people off the map.
After losing game 1, is saying, boys, I'm going to carry this one. Let me get my coddle and let me farm. They're going to be able to get a nice silence in from Boxy. Hits a couple more heroes, but fortunately, SG, they were able to disengage pretty cleanly here. But the map is getting smaller and smaller. King Jungle is going to try and stop that as much as possible. KJ caught inside the silence. Costa Belay going to pop his BKB. Mickey is in. He's got his Aegis. He's got his Shadow Dance, so he can be in, but the rest of the team is getting caught up by Koipa. Tholokor actually on the high ground, keeps him alive for a little bit longer. Taiga gets off a finger of death just before he goes down. Tavo looks to be able to escape. Meanwhile, 40R, he is yet to pop his BKB and try and go for anything just yet. Support for support. If Tavo can get out, this is okay, but he's fortunately been alley-ooped into the Chain Sun. Aphotic Shield saving him just so barely. Tavo stays alive thanks to KJ taking away that Void Remnant disable and giving him just a little bit of bumpy HP he desperately needed.
Yeah, but Liquid, the fight, yeah, sure, it's a 1-for-1, but look at the waves. Like, they're winning on the map. They're killing creep waves and almost all the jungle accessible to them. Whereas SG, they're just constantly on the back foot. We're going to watch this more time. The bind hit before the blast, and, like, he's just 100% dead. Didn't get the... oh, no, KJ had shielded himself. Oh, did he double? He may have double tapped. I'm not quite sure how that went wrong there. But either way, just wanted to take this opportunity to be at a lull to just once again reiterate how much better and more helpful Gandalf was in comparison to Dumbledore. I don't even know why that's a discussion at times, but I was thinking of it as I watch Insania. Are you and
Moxie fighting about this?
No, I think she's Team Gandalf as well. At least I would hope so.
Okay.
She's wise.
Rolling on up. 40R, no chance to pop his BKB. Tavo gets caught now. He does have enough saves that he should be fine between the Essence Ring, the Aphotic Shield, so much going on there. But again, the map is small. Costa Belay is the only one who's finding any farm right now. And I'm not even convinced that if he does get all the farm in the world, that he's going to be able to beat out this Slark. It takes a combination of the Doom and the Luna to be able to outcarry Mickey, I think, at this point in time. And KJ, he's in some trouble here. They're going to pop the BKB just to ensure they get the pick off on this support, and Mickey is able to reap yet another permanent agility. He's up to 15.
That's insane, and it's just so hard to play a Baden in this kind of game. You get purged, so you defusal, but then you're pounced. You pop bolt, he just keeps hitting you anyway. You're just giving him more power. Just quite unfortunate. Now there's going to be a Scotty, so you won't even be able to kite him. Like, it's just tough. Swiping up a free ceremonial robe. Not sure if that was an SG item, but either way, it is Mickey's teams now. I mean, just look at the
did you
map.
notice he actually went for the mini stun on Costa Bile?
Huh.
Yeah, I thought most of the Lunas that I've been watching in pubs and stuff have been going the -8% Moonglaves just because, you know, they're like me hard carry, me anything that helps me farm faster and do more physical damage is best.
It also makes it like the nerf disappears, right? Like, sure, you don't get the level 10, the beam, but your glaives actually deal more damage per bounce than they did pre-nerf when you get the talent. So yeah, I would agree. It's quite strange. Especially
maybe part
when you're
of that
the only
is just
source
a
of
lack
damage.
of disables. Maybe you just felt like they needed more stuns, even if it is a mini stun.
Yeah. Not quite sure, to be honest, but either way, they head out under the cover of smoke. But look at the waves. Like, you got to know something's up if you're Liquid. There's two creep waves in front of tier 3s. And this is
just a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, the wave clear. You know, I feel like I'm echoing Blitz. I feel him guiding this team. Keep pushing the waves. If you push the waves, the enemy team, they can't do anything. They're just covering inside in front of their base. Oh, now they've showed, so Liquid, they'll smoke right back and look for that fight.
Liquor, see if he can get some fast fingers. Not fast enough. Koifa spots him first. Able to blink and combo the support down before he could blink away off the smoke break. And Team Liquid kind of poised here to poke at high ground if they want to. They've got a freebie. There is no Roshan available for another 2 minutes, so it's not like there's any big downside to losing a team fight and losing a little bit of map control, but yeah, they're just gonna stay. Yeah, after losing game 1, they're probably like, okay, let's make sure this is a 1-1. Let's not do anything crazy. Let's just choke out SG as much as possible. Costa Bile finally does have the shard, so his build is kind of online. Now he's got the bouncing glaives with the build up, with the Crystallis. This has been the favored build from last patch, and it is going to continue in this patch as well.
But look at the, like, it feels like 2.5 cores against 4. Insania now has a full hex, and the top 2 networks are the Slark and the Tiny. So they're just, you know, so much greed on the side of Liquid, but 27-7, you can afford to invest, and they're not really hustling to end this game, but once again, look at the waves. Look at who's actually farming the jungle. It's Liquid all over the map, as SG are kind of forced to play in one screen together, once again smoking, but Koifa,
look at this positioning from Koifa. Oh, okay. They actually had a high ground ward. I didn't see that one, and neither did Koifa, so very nice kill. Well done by SG, and they need a little bit of momentum to start swinging their way. If they hope to be able to turn this game around, they need to be able to get back out on the map, because again, we talked about this early. They've got a Doom, a Timbersaw, and a Luna. All 3 of these cores want to be farming. They cannot get starved, particularly the Doom and the Luna. So they need to be able to get out on the map, actually put some of their heroes apart. But no, they're going again.
Their creep waves, the only one they've got is top. The other 2 are spawning now. They've nothing, and now they've just got to hustle across the map, and Boxy swipes the DD. Love it.
Swipes the DD in with the Dissimulate with the shard. He's able to get so far away.
A big fan of the build too. Went fully into the magical damage and the spell amp. And you can see Koiva. I like that he was breaking the smoke. How? Okay. You can't even see that ward on the minimap.
That wasn't their high ground ward.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just threw out a Lucent Beam. Okay, smoke breaks. The only place he could really be was on that left-hand side. So,
I guess I think JJ is trying to tell us that he got vision, or he's drawing something he might not be supposed to draw. Either way, thank you to our glorious observer. They're going to take the outpost back bottom, but it looks like that'll be the only bounty they get from their tiny kill. It's just an uphill battle for SG. Not over.
Jesus.
But
Kyle, you're there in person. How do you not know who's observing?
They're on a different floor. I'm not.
This is
I don't know.
Really disappointing. Thank you. Shout out, of course, to everybody at production. You guys are the real stars. I'll give you the time, even if Kyle doesn't.
Let's see. At this point, I think you might just wait for Roche. Scriff, you really do need to get better at drawing on the minimap. That did not look like a heart either. Koifa will begin the Roche. The shard is there as well. Who would they give it to? Already one on... All
right. It's do or die. This is a do or die moment for SG.
Smoke.
They smoked up They have used all of their smokes to try and take control back of this game. They're going to try and start off with a kill onto Taigen. They do manage to get it, but the BKB, it's still not going off from the Doom. He's going to be chain side down. Oh no, Mickey. He now gets on top of KJ. They're going to buy back on the side of SG and hope a second round is going to go their way a bit better, but Mickey is racking up the stats. He gets another kill onto the ban. Costa is here, but he don't see him. Boxy, they don't have the vision of him. The Eclipse is not doing anything at this point in time. 40 does manage to get the Doom. The Lincolns goes a little bit too late, but Mickey is able to fight through it. He doesn't give a damn about your Doom anymore. He is just a right-click carry. That is all he needs to be at this point in time. The rest of Liquid can provide all the spells and all the magic damage that they need to be able to clean up game 2. Liquid losing out on a kind of close game 1. It felt like a very back and forth game, and they came back with